Hi, Susan Fincher, your host for All Volunteer, All Heart from Binky Patrol. And today I have a very special guest. She is one of our area coordinators. Those are the people that lead our chapters in different parts of the country. And today, Cheryl Bean is visiting us from the grand state of Texas. And I would love for you, Cheryl, to, of course, say hello and introduce yourself, but tell us how you came to Binky Patrol before we get into what we're really talking about, which is seniors and volunteering.
Okay, I've been in Binky Patrol since 2017. And it was just through a bunch of friends that wanted to get together and make blankets. And as you know, a lot of times when you're a quilter, your family only can take so many. So you have to start thinking of other places to distribute. So that's how we came across Binky. And there are about 40 of us in our group. And
Oh,
we just love to sew and crochet. So that's what we do.
that's fantastic. How fun, though, to find people with the same crafting interests and things, because I know when I craft, sometimes it's lonely.
Yes.
I get in a zone and I can do it for hours and hours, but it's also lonely. And
Yes.
I don't always need to be with others, but sometimes it's sure a lot of fun.
It's fun and you learn from others.
Yes.
You learn different techniques and different things that you didn't know before, easier ways to do things.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's interesting too. Sometimes we take it for granted what we've learned through all these years of doing whatever the craft
Yeah.
thing is. And then I'll have a volunteer that'll come in and it brings back so many memories of how bad my mom and I were. And we started and that we didn't know anything about rotary cutters and strip piecing and oh my goodness. So yeah,
Yes.
it's pretty fun. I enjoy it a lot. As a matter of fact, next Saturday is our monthly second Saturday group that we meet at our church. Whoever wants to come, I don't care if you go to church or not, but that's where we meet, where we have our Binkathon. So there's like usually between 10 and 15 of us.
That's awesome.
It is.
Great.
And they bring their problem child projects.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, that's a lot of fun. But you're doing something that you didn't even know we were making this an initiative this year, and you've been doing it before. I said, this would be a really great idea. And I know Caitlin Peterson, she also had wanted in Virginia, she had wanted to do this too. She wants to get seniors involved. I'm wondering, I mean, this is so in line. First, let's back up a little bit. Folks, if you don't know, one of the reasons I started Binky Patrol was that I didn't have to go to meetings. I didn't have to have a schedule. I could just make blankets when it fit my schedule and then drop them off somewhere. And I was thrilled with that.
Yeah.
Having friends that came because of that, that felt the same way. It's so funny because then we ended up meeting anyway, but it didn't matter if we didn't because we're still doing the same things. And you've expanded that, which is, I think, so lovely and right on target with our mission to invite senior communities, retirement communities, active retirement communities to participate in Binky Patrol as well from wherever they are. It doesn't matter. They don't have to go to your meetings. That's dopey. But
Right.
but they're still making a difference, being a part of the community. Tell me how that got started for you.
So that got started with our group because one of our ladies, her mother was going into a retirement community and she was a sewer. And so when she got to that community, they usually have activity directors, but they don't have a lot of fun activities. So that's how we got started is we introduced this particular retirement home to crocheting and sewing and doing coloring blocks. And we told them about Binky Patrol, and they were so excited because it gave them a purpose and it gave them a reason to do what they love to do.
When you and I have talked about the importance, you read about the blue zones, but we've talked about that's exactly what it's about: community,
Yes.
contributing, being together, collaborating. That's where people live the longest. That's where their brains stay the healthiest
Yes.
because they aren't just existing. They are doing something that matters to somebody. It can be little. It
Yes.
could be making
Yes.
granny squares. It could be drawing like Tell me about the color blocks. I just loved this story and I want you to share it with everybody.
Okay, so the color blocks are white cotton fabric, and they're usually 10 by 10 squares. And you cut a 10 by 10 piece of freezer paper and you iron it onto the back of the fabric. And then on the front of the fabric, you trace a cartoon that you get out of a coloring book, a kid's coloring book. And then you let them color that cartoon and they'll sign their name to that 10 by 10 square. And then you take the freezer paper off and you put it on the front and you iron it so that it seals that color. And then you can make quilts out of it. And what we do then is try and take pictures of the quilts back to that community so they can see what the finished product looks like that they colored. And they
That's
love it.
fantastic. Okay, so you just taught me something. The wax paper that you put on the back of it when you're drawing and stuff, that keeps it from leaking then onto the table.
And it keeps the fabric from stretching.
And then the dual purpose of that same piece comes to the top,
Yeah.
iron it on, and it seals in the Sharpie. You're using Sharpies, I assume.
No, we're using crayons, Crayola crayon. So they're coloring like they were back in school again. And some of
Oh
them
my
get so
goodness.
excited about that they just love it. So Crayola crayons we found were the best crayons
And they don't wash
to
out.
use, and they don't wash out.
Oh.
So we trace it with a Sharpie,
Okay.
and then we give them the 10 by 10 square and the Crayola crayons. And they'll have a half a day of coloring at these retirement villages, and they just love it. They
What a grand idea. I would
Yeah.
love to see pictures of some of those blocks.
Okay. I can send those to
You
you.
know, like before they color it too, and then after
Right.
you've sealed it.
And
Ooh,
then
I'd
the
love to
quilt when it's put together.
Yes, and let's make
Yeah.
an article about that and post it because that's a great how-to.
Yes, yes. And a lot of the ladies in these retirement communities can't always crochet because their hands have gotten arthritis, but they can color. So they want to be able to do something. So to be able to color those squares just makes their day. They just love it.
Oh,
And
that's fantastic.
yeah. So you have to kind of think of what their restrictions are in a
Right.
retirement village. Some can crochet and knit, some can't. And that's where stripy blankets come in as well. Some ladies can pull the strip through the holes that you cut in the stripy blankets. So
What's a strippy blanket?
okay. So it's it's what you would call a tie blanket, but we don't tie them. We use strips from our fleece that we can't use, our scrap fleece.
Yeah.
And we cut 1-inch strips or half-inch strips, I'm sorry. And then we skip stitch the double blanket, just like you would do to crochet, only we pull it's 8-inch by half-inch strips, colored strips through, and then they just loop it and tie it in a knot.
And then you can have contrasting colors and stuff, and it doesn't get to be
Yes.
too thick either.
I can send you some of those
Let's
pictures.
let's look at that too. I mean,
Yeah.
find more ideas to make it easy for people because for us, going way back to when I lived in Laguna, one of the elementary schools, they had a whole bunch of coffee cans.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know what they were doing, and the lids had a hole in them. And so they let the kids draw on a square that they blocked with masking tape that would have an edge. They drew whatever they wanted. Then they put it on this coffee can with the lid cut out with the ring and
Right.
sprayed it with denatured alcohol, and it looked like tie-dye.
Oh, cool.
And they made the most beautiful, brilliant blankets. And it was so easy. To them, it was magic then to see what happened to my square.
Right.
And it looked like
Right.
stained glass when it was done, just like I'm sure these color blocks do.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Oh,
That's what
that's
the ladies love to see the finished product.
oh yes.
They love it. Yeah.
We all do. I mean, we make us,
Yeah.
when I watch our sewers at our Binkathons work on the strips, they make their top, they turn it over to the pinners, the batting
Yes.
cutters, the backers, the pinners, and it comes back to them and it's finished. The glee in their face when they hold up the finished blanket, like,
Right.
look what 5 of us made.
Exactly. Yes. It's a team effort.
It is. I do like the mix. So I do like sewing on my own. And when it gets warmer, I bring my sewing machine outside and I sew
Nice.
on the deck. And so I'll spend a whole day cutting and then the next day sewing. But our events, the life and the joy from
Yes.
the, even though we just do 2 a year, the little sewing club we do is nothing like a Binkathon. And but the chaos, the lovely, beautiful chaos of a Binkathon
Yes.
is so much fun. And some people, I have some crocheters that, I crochet. I don't want to go. Oh, fine. Don't. And they just keep making blankets, which is fine.
Right, right. But you have to go to one to
Yep.
see because you get so much out of it. Just as a community, as learning from each other, the
Yep.
fellowship, the everything that comes out of that. Binkathon. We get a lot of new volunteers from that.
We do too.
And that's what's so amazing because some of these ladies come from 5, 10, 15 miles away just to see what it's about.
They're curious.
Yes, yes.
I watch kids get hooked at our Binkathon recently. We did on MLK. I didn't have any fleece at this one. Okay, so I had some and I stashed it just in case. But it was a sewing one. We were really focused on doing tops, and we knew because I'm such a crack the whip person on the October event. It's like quantity, let's go, go, go.
Yeah,
But this one, they wanted to play in the fabric and come up with their own tops and do their own things. So I said, you guys just play today. Just make tops and teach each other. And
right.
so we had 4 new people learn how to work on a machine.
Nice.
We had at least a dozen mixing and matching of groups and ages, pairing up and
Mhm.
teaching each other and working as a team to solve problem things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what I loved is at the end, we had this family with 3 kids, and they showed up and they didn't know it was a sewing one. They didn't read the
Right.
description very well. They were used to our other events. Well, what are we gonna do? And I thought, I got a stash. And so I brought out just for their family, and for the last hour and a half, they learned how to tie them properly,
Mhm.
cut off the selvage,
Yeah.
and those 3 siblings, they're, I think, from, like, 9 to 12 years old, took their own table and were laughing and having so much fun that they
Yeah,
wanna take it
see?
to their youth group at their church.
Yep. Yep.
You don't know how they're gonna get hooked.
Right, and part of what some of these seniors do too, when you cut out the salvage on
Yeah,
the fleece, we give it to some of these senior centers, and they braid it and make dog toys out of it.
exactly, I've done that.
Yeah, and then we just give that to the different rescue groups in the area, and so everything anything you can think of, talk to them and see if they can do it because they'll do anything just to have a purpose and to give back.
Right.
That's really what they want.
So I know different chapters have different capabilities, abilities, time to be able to raise funds. And so sometimes chapters have money to be able to say, okay, senior center will help you with this stuff. Others, I don't have the money to be able to supply them all.
Right.
And so how did you guys tackle that?
If you talk to the, members that are at that senior center and or the director of the activities, we've done this at a couple of them. Once they got hooked on doing this stuff, and we told them, "Our funds are low sometimes," they raised the money themselves. They would put a donation basket in their activity room and just collect it or write a check. Collect the cash, write a check, and that's how they would do it. And then we would buy supplies for them with that money that they donated to us.
Right.
There's a lot of different ways you can do it.
It's kind of like having an artist in residence when you guys come and
Yeah.
help them.
Yeah.
And I think about the families, most of these places have newsletters.
Yeah.
And to be able to get the mention, and if you put their photos on your chapter page,
Yeah.
everybody goes back and forth, and it's like building community.
Yes. Yes.
And the
Most definitely.
families of these people that receive the e-newsletters, I'm sure, the updates and things, if they saw their loved one,
Yes.
the joy in their faces.
Yes. And that's how we got our most recent senior center. Um, I take yoga classes, and the instructor heard me talking about Binky one time, and she asked me what it was, and I told her, and she said, "My mother's in this senior center. She's 94 years old." And she said, "I want her to be able to do things." And so we went there and gave them a presentation, and they do the coloring blocks now and the tie blankets. They love it. They just love it.
That's
So
a
you're right. The family sees that
yeah.
and that it's helping their elderly loved one.
I think that's a great, if you want to call it as crass as an angle, but an avenue,
Yes.
because the activities directors are usually so overwhelmed to be able to talk to us. I'm right now, Ronnie and I are working, or is it Ryan? Ryan and I are working on a card. We made this beautiful card. I'm going to print on Vistaprint, and we're going to mail it with a cover letter to all of our local ones
Uh-huh.
to see the response with a QR code that goes to a landing page. It has me. I'm going to record a video this weekend that says, here's some ideas.
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
not hard. And we would be happy to come work with you on this. I tried to keep it within a 10-mile radius for the same reason.
Right.
I don't want to have to go far, especially if we get several of them.
Right.
But I've seen their faces light up when they know they are doing something to help.
Yes.
And we're not just doing it just to help. Oh, we need you to feel useful. We really need their help. We
Yeah.
need more people making blankets.
Yes. Yes. One of the ladies that came to us a year and a half ago, I think, or maybe 2 years ago, all she knew how to do was crochet hats, baby hats.
Okay.
And she called me one time and she said, I have 100 hats. I don't know what to do with them. And I said, well, come to a meeting and bring your hats. And now she's sewing quilt tops. She's crocheting blankets. So she learned all of that. Sorry.
It's okay.
She learned all of that just from coming to a meeting to see what Binky was all about. So, yeah, one little thing can turn into something big.
It can.
Yeah.
That is so exciting.
Yeah.
So I'm so grateful to you for, taking that and running with that initiative and to never limit a chapter to say, oh, you have to come to our meetings or something, that it's all about
Right.
just building. Communities get built in different ways.
Exactly.
And we have to be willing and open. I mean, when you think about when I started Binky Patrol the very first day, I didn't know what we were going to do. I just knew I wanted to make blankets for kids and I don't have much time. Do you want
Right.
to? And
Right.
and I still have 3 of my best friends from that day.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
I mean,
That's
it's
awesome.
amazing the gifts that
Yes.
that you just
And also, if you think about it, the more people you pull in from the community, the more the word gets out there, and that can lead to donations,
yeah,
donations of materials, donations financially. So instead of staying in your own little group, you
yeah.
just need to branch out and talk to people.
Well, and it's tough too because we have a lot of older volunteers and things, and some have more income than we would realize, and some don't.
Right.
And to always be tapping them, that's a lot of pressure
Yes.
when they're already the makers.
Yes.
And I always want to be careful of that.
Right.
And I had a dear friend that died recently, and when the fires happened in California, she tapped me at church. She said, "What do you need for this?" So we have to ship a bunch of blankets down there. She says, "I'll pay for that."
Wow.
Well, I didn't know her that well. I made assumptions about her. I said, "Well, it's going to be expensive." And she got mad at me. She said,
Oh,
"Don't you,
wow.
so don't you tell me my finances." I said, "Whatever it costs, I will pay for it."
Wow. That's
And
awesome.
okay. And I learned a lesson though, that if somebody just okay,
Yes. Yes.
I cannot put my thinking on them. I can't judge it. I just have to accept and say yes, because so many things come to us if we just say yes.
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 Yep. You're correct. Yep.
And so, I mean, speaking of yes, I mean, you've said yes now and you're going to stay saying yes, right? You're staying with
Yes.
us.
Yeah. I am.
I'm so glad.
Yeah. I am
And
too.
I love your spirit in Binky Patrol. It
Yeah.
it
I
means
love
a lot.
doing it. Yeah. I love doing it. And I really do want to reach out to more seniors and get them
Yeah.
more involved. And it's
It's
just joy to see their faces. And yeah, they're so thankful. They're just so thankful that you've brought this to them.
right. That delegation too. Growing a chapter doesn't have to be hard. Once you
Right.
once you come in with an idea, that let it spread.
Yes.
Let it
Yes.
do its thing. I'll still do my 2 events a year. I'll do my once a month sewing. That's enough for me.
Right.
And it I think sometimes people think volunteering has to be more difficult and complicated. And maybe it does in some organizations. But that's the one thing I wanted to remove was every barrier. If you have
Right.
some time, we'll find something for you to do.
Yeah, and we tell people that too. If I want to come and help, but I don't sew and I don't crochet. I said there's a lot of other things you can help with besides.
Yeah.
And then what happens is they end up learning how to sew and learning how to crochet. So it's a win-win for everyone.
I found I have a few people that they don't want to meet, they want to help. So what they've been doing is they will reshare articles from our website on their social
Oh,
media.
wow. Okay.
And that's a help.
Yes.
People that can share your chapter page. This is
Yes.
our chapter. This is what we do. These are the people we help. And
Yep.
to be able to help tell those stories or retell them,
Right.
that matters too, because that gets us to a new audience and it comes with
Exactly.
credibility.
Yes. Yep.
And it's like the newsletters for these senior communities. Have you asked them if they would mention or just include photos or anything, or do they?
I'm going to do that. I never even thought of that, but yes, we're going to
It,
do that with all the senior centers that we're involved with.
it's a good selling point too for them and their activities
Yes.
because it's colorful photos
Yeah.
and to show them having joy and being proud of what they've done. That's a fantastic selling point.
Yes, it is for sure. It
Yep.
shows that they're very active in their community.
Right. And
Yeah,
that they aren't just sitting there being stored, that they're actually
exactly.
engaging.
Yes. Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, we'll end up with a new page on our site called binkypatrol.org/seniors. And we are going to put everything about this
Oh, I think that's awesome.
there, and people, can talk to us about it. And we're going to start setting up little ambassadors. So
Okay.
you're the Texas one. And
Okay.
just to have these conversations. How has this worked? How did you guys set it up? Who are the activities directors? Can I talk to them? We'll figure it out that way. But I think we need a landing page to say all these, here are 10 ideas.
Right. Right.
Easy, inexpensive, impactful ideas.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we'll do the tie-dye one, we'll do your color blocks,
Okay.
and then what did you call the scrappy ones? The strappy
The strippies.
strippies. So
Yeah.
the strippies, we'll put that on there too
Okay.
and give them some ideas of what can they do. I mean,
Right.
people can, if they can just do granny squares, fine.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
get somebody to put them together.
Yeah. We have an older lady that has health issues. We give her all of our scrap yarn. Like, you know how you end up with a third of a
Yeah.
skein? We
Yeah.
give her all of our scrap yarn and she creates quilts with those, crocheted quilts with all of the scrap. And a lot of it's granny squares, but they're beautiful.
Oh,
She
that would
does
be almost like
beautiful
a
work.
crazy quilt, but an Afghan.
Yeah, she does beautiful work.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. That's cool.
I'll have to send you some pictures of hers.
Yeah, we have a lot of things we need to be talking
Yeah.
about and posting
Yes, for
because
sure.
that's how we get that excitement. It's very visual.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
It's super visual. So,
And that's what we do when we go to these senior centers. We take samples of everything and go through all of it. And then we take stuff that we can leave with them if they're interested. And 9 times out of 10, they want you to leave stuff. So, yeah,
well,
visual for sure.
yeah, it was like those kids at the Binkathon. At the end, I actually had 3 t-shirts left over that were small from a couple
Uh-huh.
years ago. And I said, "Would you kids like these?" They were so proud to
See
have
that?
a shirt. And I said, "You need to know where your blankets are gonna go. They're gonna help kids like you that maybe sit at the back of the classroom that you don't know." And I went on explaining, and the one little girl, her eyes just welled up, and she
Oh,
had the biggest grin on her face. She said, "I am so happy we came here today."
yeah.
It
Yeah.
was just
It makes you
perfect.
feel good. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Kids can learn to change lives early,
Yes, they can for sure.
and people can learn to do it at any age.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
if they've never volunteered before, they
Yeah.
might just think they're doing a craft, but they don't realize they're volunteering.
Right. Right. And we had a similar situation where a family came to our Binkathon last year, and it was a mom and dad and their 2 kids. And they did not look happy coming to this thing, but they come back every year now. They loved it. They loved it. So they come every year.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, Cheryl, thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm sorry it took so long to get you on here.
That's okay.
We'll get this published next week and we'll be able to share that out with everybody. And maybe between now and Tuesday, if you get me any of those photos, I'll include it in this.
Okay. I'll do that.
That would be a good thing to talk about and show to get people thinking, how can I get mom involved?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. And so you can find Cheryl's chapter on our website if you went to beekeepatrol.org, and you can look either under Midwest or Gulf states, and Texas will come up, or you can just scroll through the whole list if you want. And we're hoping to add more chapters very soon. I have something in the works, and if it comes through, we can be adding as many as 100 drop-off locations.
Wow, that's awesome.
So I'm working on it.
Okay,
When
good.
I know more, I will tell you all.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you so much, Cheryl. I appreciate it.
All right. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. You can find us at beekeepatrol.show, all your favorite podcast apps. To learn more about our organization, how you can get involved, go to beekeepatrol.org.